Oh, the height of the chassis.
Yeah.
And what should it be?
Ideally,
It
it'd
should
be
be-
nice to have about.
The same everywhere, right? At four corners.
No, it needs to be lower at the front. and
Lower at the front,
Slightly
okay.
higher at the back.
All right. So what is it now? What is the damage? Is it like bad?
It's not. It's not bad. It's just trying to keep things
But
consistent. So I would
also-
try and have.
Also, the FRP chassis is a bit
Dinner.
I mean, there is this protection, so maybe
That's
it's
fine.
going to
That's all right. Just if we
mess
get
up your measurements.
decent reading is what we want. Okay, so it's 10 on that side and it's 14 on this side,
Okay.
which means it's the car's not flat, it's slightly at a wonk.
Okay.
So what we'll do is change the ride height.
But then it's going to.
No, then we do the front all over again.
But okay. So it's just to find a in between between the
We
two.
don't want the chassis to be slightly on a bend. You want the chassis to be nice and flat,
Yeah.
not a nice slight angle.
Okay. But then maybe the wheels are going to touch differently, like what we did.
No, because the
Before.
camber was out before as well. So we'll adjust it all, have a look and see what happens.
Okay.
Εννοείται και για μας το ίδιο ισχύει.
So as I was saying before, without filming, so it took me 6 hours at the track to do one lap that was okay-ish, and after all the setups we did, I did straight ahead 6 or 7 laps that were the most amazing, beautiful laps I ever done, whatever. And it was really a game changer. So I'm looking forward for even more adjustments, which I had no idea about.
Almost there. Then we need to have a 10 mil at the front. We'll start with 10 mil and see what that looks like on the track.
Okay.
Right, so that's 10 at the front,
Okay.
and you're going to be way up at the back, so I can't use this.
I just saw your message.
But also because it's a very old TA02, there is very little settings you can do.
Yeah, but
Not
we'll try
much,
and lower
not
it
much
as
you
much
can
as we
do.
can.
With new rear tires that are technically front tires, but it was the only new one that I had.
It's getting there.
Okay, Mark.
So after for the weight distribution, maybe it's maybe it's just not worth it on this
Well, it's just
on this
interesting.
car because it. Do you want a screwdriver instead?
That's right.
It's fine.
If anything, you just want the car to be sitting straight. You don't want it to be on an angle or warped, what we call tweak in the chassis. That's all. So some things you can just do by eye
Yeah.
because
Look how much you have on the end. Look how much I have.
there.
me, I mean, I thought that it was fine to keep the same over here.
No.
I thought it was fine to keep the same distance over there and on the opposite side, but actually not at all.
No, they're all going to be different. That's why all the corners, these corners
Yeah.
and these corners need to be not identical, but that's where the weight distribution goes. It's
Yeah,
across-
yeah, yeah.
it's
It
across
needs
the
to be
car.
crossed. Yeah,
So when the car's planted,
yeah,
it'll be going into a corner. So a lot of the stress might be on this side because this track is a lot of left turns.
it is.
So that's why you need to set the car up to the track, not the car to any track.
The track, which is Crystal Palace, which is quite vintage and from the 70s and reopened very recently, which is quite cool.
Good. Right, your corners are done.